What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Stocks channel. My name is Cory, and tonight's episode is going to be your daily stock market technical analysis update. Today we saw the stock market going up across the board yet again, and this market still looks bullish. We still haven't quite met all of my price targets, and we have a huge earnings seasons coming up this week, so the stock market should be very exciting. First up, let's take a look at the S&P 500 SPY ETF. So let's crack open this chart and see what's going on in the stock market today. Alright, so on the SPY ETF, we did see the price action going up 0.39% today, and that's yet another daily price action close over that 5 EMA. This is also going to be another day that I won't see any bears in the comment section, and I just want you all to know, if you're watching, that I do miss your comments. So taking a look at the trend, we can see that we still have a very bullish trend, and the trend is still picking up momentum because we continue to see that 5 EMA creating separation from the 13 EMA. So we're still in full bullish trend mode, which, as you know, that means the market is likely to continue to trend higher because the trend is your friend and the trend is still extremely bullish. You can see we're still breaking and closing over this 0.786 Fibonacci extension level at 384, but my price target I think we are going to reach is still up here at SPY levels of 393. It looks like we're well on our way towards those levels, and we do have some very critical earnings reports this week that could drive the market much higher. However, with earnings, you always have to be a little careful of it being priced in, so don't expect us to go up to 393 in a straight line with absolutely no volatility. In every single bull market, it's completely normal to see days of selling and to see some minor corrections on the way to these price targets. The important thing to note is that we're in a bullish trend, and I still expect to see the price action drift higher week over week until we see something shift in this trend. So the strongest support levels on SPY are still going to be down here around the 377 level in any event that we actually do dip that far. It's still fully possible we could find support at the 5 EMA and our support level at the previous all-time high at 381. So there's still plenty of support below this bull market, which means we could dip quite a bit and still continue to head higher after we bounce off of those support levels. So like I always say, don't try to call a top just because the market's going higher doesn't mean it's time to get bearish or try to short this market. There's still plenty of bullish momentum, and we still see a lot of people jumping in and buying the dip. You could see at one point today the SPY was trading down around 378, and that dip just got eaten up by the bulls, and we closed all the way higher at 384. So this market still has a lot of people in cash and a lot of people on the sidelines just dying to get in at lower prices, which is why you're seeing the stock market dip just small amounts before people are jumping in and driving the price higher. So next up, let's jump over to the Nasdaq 100 QQQs ETF, and we see the QQQs going up 0.83% today, and that's another daily price action close over top of the 5 EMA and outside the upper Bollinger Band. So the Qs are trading outside the upper Bollinger Band, which is showing extreme bullish sentiment, and it's showing that there's a lot of bulls in the tech sector driving the Nasdaq 100 much higher. You could see the bullish trend picking up a lot of momentum with the 5 EMA creating even more separation from the 13 EMA than we saw in the S&P 500. So there's a ton of bullish momentum in the Nasdaq 100, and you could see that we did find resistance at that $330 price target level that I told you on Friday could be a strong resistance level. However, eventually we should break above that level and get to my price target at $333. So we are getting very close to my price targets on the QQQs, even though we're not quite at my price target on the S&P 500 just yet. So that either means one of two things. The Nasdaq 100 is leading the way, and we could see a top in the Nasdaq before the S&P 500 gets there, or the Nasdaq 100 is going to outperform and blast right through my price target and continue to head higher. So right now we'll just take it day by day, and right now we just have to recognize that the trend and the price action are still bullish, which means we're likely going to continue to trend higher. Strong support levels for the QQQs are going to be the top of this gap at 319, and of course the bottom of the gap at 317. The 20 simple moving average is just a little bit lower than that, right around 316. There is still a strong support level below the 20 simple moving average at $313. So there's still a ton of support below this bullish trend on the Nasdaq 100, and like I said with the S&P 500, it's completely normal to see some selling and some corrections on the way to the price target at 333. So as long as the trend is bullish and the price action is bullish, we want to buy the dip and we want to continue to be bullish on this market until we see something shift in the trend. Next up is the Dow Jones DIA ETF, and we see the Dow Jones actually going down a little bit today, closing negative 0.1%, but still closing over top of that 13 EMA. We still have a bull trend on the Dow, but we can definitely see that it's being weaker than the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100. I think tech is still going to lead the way in this bull market, and the Dow Jones will likely follow suit later. So look for the Dow to continue to try to break through my price target up here at $312. We need to break and close over that level before I can raise my price target on the Dow Jones. Next up is the ARKK ETF, and we still see the ARKK ETF struggling to break through my price target at $149, but it still has a very strong bull trend with bullish price action. If the ARKK ETF can break and close over 149, it is likely going to head up to the next price target at $155. So ARKK is still looking really good, and it does look like it wants to continue to trend higher with the chart that we're looking at in front of us. Next up is the VIX, which is the fear indicator, and we still see the VIX kind of going sideways. And even though the VIX did go up 5.84% today, it's still trading below the 50 EMA and below our resistance at 24.8. So a low VIX means low fear, which means we're likely to continue to trend higher in the stock market to brand new all-time highs. So right now I don't see anything on the VIX that tells us to watch out for any major selling because it's still trading below critical resistance levels and it's just trending sideways going absolutely nowhere. Next up is the US dollar, and we still see the US dollar continuing to show signs of weakness, trading below a negative sloping 50 EMA and holding up below resistance. The dollar does look like it's seeing a little bit of a bounce, but it's nothing to be concerned about long term because it's still in a very heavy bearish trend and it does look like it's going to continue to head lower. So I'm looking for the dollar to continue to head lower towards this $89 support level. Next up is gold, and gold is really just putting everybody to sleep and it's going absolutely nowhere, and it's holding up right around support around the 1860s and 1850s. Gold needs to break and close back over the 20 simple moving average to gain some bullish momentum, and it means it's likely heading back to the price target at 1930. If gold can't hold up around the 5 EMA, it could head back to support at 1826, and we'll see if gold is going to bounce off that level when the time comes. But right now it looks like gold could go either way, and it's really just hanging around this 1860 support level trying to decide which direction it wants to go. Next up is silver, and we see silver still holding up above support at the $25 level and still trading over top of the 50 EMA. There's not a lot of bullish or bearish trending going on in silver, and it's really just going nowhere, taking some time to cool off and consolidate. My price target on silver is still up here at $26.56, and it does look like we should start heading up to that level soon. We need to see some bullish momentum picking up, and it would be nice to see some price action closes back over top of that 5 EMA. Next up is Bitcoin, and we still see Bitcoin sort of cooling off in a consolidation, and the good news is that it's still holding up over top of that 50 EMA. However, there's not a lot of bullish trending in Bitcoin anymore, and you can see that the volume is also starting to die down, and we don't see a lot of buyers in Bitcoin at this time. So Bitcoin is likely just going to hang around this $32,000 level as it continues to consolidate and go absolutely nowhere, getting ready to make its next move. Remember, with Bitcoin, it's fully possible that it could go through a huge correction at the drop of a hat, so don't get impatient and don't jump into Bitcoin with too much money because it's still fully possible that we come all the way back down to $20,000 on Bitcoin before we head higher. But right now you could see it broke out of this consolidation wedge, and that wedge is acting as resistance, and Bitcoin continues to fail to break back inside that wedge. Normally that is a bearish sign, and that is not the time you want to be going too heavy into a stock. My price target on Bitcoin is still up here at $42,700, and we have not invalidated that price target, and it does still look like Bitcoin is trying to get to that level, but it still has to cool off and consolidate before it can start running. Next up is Amazon stock, and we do see some bullish trending picking up in Amazon, but we're still struggling to break and close over resistance at $33.22. So remember, for Amazon to start running, it has to break and close over $33.22, or it's still in this consolidation sideways move between resistance and support. So right now, Amazon does look like it is starting to build up some bullish momentum going into earnings, but we need to see the price action follow suit and break and close over that resistance. Next up is Apple stock, and we see Apple stock having a great day today, going up 2.77% and exceeding my price target at $141. The next price target above is going to be right up here at $145, but we need to see Apple follow through, and you can see it is trading outside the upper Bollinger Band, so it could go into some sort of retracement tomorrow. But Apple's still looking really good, and it's holding up above support at 136, which means it's likely to try to continue to head higher in the 140s. On the financial sector, we did get a close below the 20 simple moving average today, and we could see that we're starting to lose some short-term bullish trending, and we are starting to see that 5 EMA getting ready to cross below the 13. So the financial sector would need to see some price action closes back over the 20 simple moving average to prevent this chart from turning into a bearish trend. On the industrial sector, we're seeing some selling, and we got 2 price action closes below the 20 simple moving average now, and we could see that the 5 EMA has definitely crossed below the 13 and the 20, and we're building up some bearish trending. So the industrial sector is definitely getting hit the hardest, but it could still try to hold up above support at the 50 EMA, which is still positive sloping. On the healthcare sector, we're still seeing bullish price action closes over the 5 EMA with a very strong bullish trend. So going back to the S&P 500, we can see that the strongest sectors by far are the tech sector and the healthcare sector, and we are starting to see some weakness in the financials and the industrials. However, a little bit of weakness in two of the smaller sectors is not going to drive the S&P 500 lower, as you saw today with the S&P 500 continuing to climb higher. So we're definitely seeing a little bit of weakness in the financials and industrials, which we need to pay attention to, but the tech sector and the healthcare sector can continue to drive this market higher. We're still seeing a bullish trend with a relatively low VIX and a weak dollar, which means the stock market is likely to continue to head higher to new all-time highs. So continue to watch that price target on the SPY of 393. And if you're looking for a disciplined and profitable trading community, come check us out at the Stocks Channel Discord community, where we're absolutely crushing this market and making a ton of profits. You can find out how to join the Stocks Channel Discord by clicking on the link in the description of this video. So next up, let's go ahead and take a look at the Stocks Channel Hot Stocks. Welcome to Hot Stocks. First up, we're going to take a look at Tesla stock, and we did see Tesla having a great day today, going up over 4% and getting awfully close to that price target at $906. So it looks like Tesla is going to have no trouble going up into this earnings seasons and running up to that price target at 906. Remember, if we break and close over 906, it does mean that Tesla could run to 967. Don't forget, Tesla is in a wave 5, which means after we do see the top in Tesla, which I'm not trying to call, it is likely going into a short-term bear market. So don't chase this stock, and if you're a trader, take advantage of the quick in and outs and don't hang around for too long. If you're an investor in Tesla stock, just hold on for the wild ride, and who knows where the actual top is ever going to be on this stock, because it just continues to blast through price target after price target. So remember, with Tesla stock, I'm going to remain bullish as long as the chart is bullish. So we have price action closes over the 5 EMA with a very strong bull trend, which means I'm still bullish on Tesla stock. I'm going to remain objective on Tesla, and I don't care about its valuations or any of that noise. If it's going higher, it's likely going to continue to go higher. That's just how technical analysis works. So we have a bullish chart with bullish price action, so I fully expect to see Tesla get to 906 and possibly even break and close over it, exceeding my price target and heading to 967. Remember, if you're trying to short Tesla stock, please just give me your money and I will light it on fire for you, because it'll be much better spent keeping somebody warm this winter. Next up is NIO stock, and we see NIO stock going down negative 3.16% today, even though it did gap up higher for the day. There's going to be a strong resistance level on NIO stock at $65, and there is a price target still up here at 67, which we did hit back here on January 11th. If we can break and close over 65 and 67, there is a price target above at $70, which NIO could meet. Don't forget, on NIO stock though, this is a highly speculative stock, and we're only bullish on it because the chart is telling us to remain bullish. The price action's over the 5 EMA, and we still have a bullish trend. So just like Tesla stock, this stock is likely going to remain bullish as long as the chart is bullish. Yes, it's really that simple. So I'm still bullish on NIO stock, and I still fully expect to see it come back up and retest that resistance level at $65. Next up is Palantir stock, and ever since Palantir broke out of this consolidation wedge to the upside, we became bullish on this stock, and I did issue this stock a buy today on the Stocks Channel Discord down here at $29. This stock is absolutely running, and it's likely going to continue to head higher going into earnings because there's a lot of speculation on this stock. So as far as price targets go, there is a price target at $36, which is currently acting as a resistance level, and you can see we are struggling to break and close above that level. If we do break and close over $36 for at least 2 days in a row, it's likely that Palantir is heading all the way up here to $45. So I am now bullish on Palantir stock, and it's finally proven itself as a hot stock because ever since it broke out of this consolidation, it's moving in a very impulsive way. You can see there is a ton of volume entering the stock, and you can never look at big up moves on high volume as anything other than extremely bullish. So earnings is going to be all the way out here in February, and I'm still fully expecting to see Palantir continue to run. So I don't think Palantir is going to have any trouble blasting through 36 and heading to $45, and I do think this is a buy the dip stock. So try to buy the dip on support levels and continue to hold this stock long because it's likely going to continue to run. Next up is Zoom stock, and we saw Zoom stock going up 2.2% today, and I'm still extremely bullish on this stock. You can see that it is building some bullish momentum with the 5 EMA trending above the 13 EMA, and we are starting to see some price action trying to break through this 50 EMA. If we can see Zoom start closing over this 392 level, it could start running. And I do still have my price target up here at $418, which we have not yet met. So I'm still extremely bullish on Zoom, and I do think it's going to continue to trend higher into the $400 price targets. I am also calling Zoom a buy the dip stock, and I do think it is a great stock to try to buy off of these support levels as it continues to run higher. Next up is Salesforce, ticker symbol CRM, and we saw Salesforce pretty much going nowhere today, even though it did gap up over the 50 EMA. We could still see some bullish trending building up on CRM, and it does look like it's ready to start running to our first price target at 232. A break and close over 232 should send us up to close the gap at 238. And if we continue to head higher, you can see I do have price targets going all the way up as far as 265. So I'm still very bullish on CRM stock, and I do think that it's really just consolidating and getting ready for another run up to these price targets in the very near future. So remember, I have a lot more hot stocks daily on the Stocks Channel Discord, and if you haven't already, come check out the Stocks Channel Discord, which you can find out how to join in the link in the description of this video. We're a disciplined and profitable trading community, and we're absolutely crushing this market. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're being profitable in this market and making a ton of money. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.